So earlier on, I mentioned that there's what we call the software development life cycle. The software development life cycle are the various stages that a software goes through before it comes out. But there's also what referred to as the software development approaches. It's similar to software development life cycle. It's just how the software is built. Now, with the we have, I would want to discuss the two main, say, types of software development approaches. There are other ones. We have what we call the waterfall and then also the agile one. So with waterfall, it's very, sometimes you hear people say plan driven. So when we talk about plan driven, we're talking about softwares that are built, but before they are built, the approach they go through is very systematic. So we cannot jump any stage. So one stage would have to be done before the next stage is also done. So the first stage within the waterfall module is what referred to as the requirement stage. Again, the same stages, but there's no way we can do designing without doing the requirement stage. So at every point in time, all the requirements. So that's the funny thing between this one and the normal DevOps way of doing things. So with the waterfall module, what we're saying is that every single feature we want to implement or every single feature we want to build should be known beforehand before we build it. Yeah, every single feature is supposed to be known before we build it. So all these features, once they are known and they are listed and also the use cases and documents are done, then we pass it on to design. So the design team need these requirements before they can come up with the design. So the design stage, they're looking at how to come up with a software architecture. That's what we call UML diagrams, where they look at the flow of the program. And so there's diagrams like flowchart diagrams. There's what we call sequence diagrams. There's what we call class diagrams. And yes, there are other diagrams as well. So there's flowchart, various diagrams that we need. And then we have the HLD, high level design, and then low level designs. These are all things that come into the design phase. So now, once all these stages are done, that is the only time that you would have to move to the next stage. So imagine it's very rigid. It means that you cannot jump any stage. It also means that you cannot go to a second stage without doing the first stage. There's always a lot of dependencies when it comes to the waterfall model. So basically, the waterfall model follows a very top-down approach where one stage will have to be done before the next stage is done. And the funny thing is that there's the only time we can make changes to the approach is when we get to the maintenance stage. That's the only time we can come back and start all over again. So there's no way you can flexibly say I'm going back to the previous stage. No, it doesn't work like that with the waterfall module. So it's just an up-down approach.